you mentioned Hayes, you mentioned Gainey before.
Yeah.
Given the way this league operates, the offense is here, and what you're facing, do you feel like this year, even though you want to invest in Arkansas talent, homegrown talent, that maybe those guys are going to maybe get a longer look just because of their experience, just because of gameplay, just because they're a little bit farther along?
Well, I think any time that you lose as many people as we do on defense, you need to fill some holes immediately with some experienced guys, and that's why we strategically went after, 4 junior college defensive players. And we are expecting those guys to come in and fill the needs immediately, and hopefully allow our young guys a little bit more time. At the same time, you're able to see some true freshmen do it.
What's the process of getting Michael Dyer to Arkansas State? Do you think this year that he has to sit out? You worry about that maybe hurting him mentally or anything like that?
No, we were disappointed that he wasn't able to play, obviously. But he's one of the better running backs in college football, and he's worked extremely hard. He's actually gotten stronger and faster than he was the last 2 years. So, all that'll do is be a boost for next year. He'll help our running backs. He knows this offense very well, so we're going to ask him to help those guys. And then when he comes back, it'll be a lot of fun.
How big advantage? He's a scout teamer, basically.
He's liable to be a little bit of a coach, a little bit of a scout teamer, and a little bit of a recruiter.
How big advantage having a Michael Dyer on that other side of the ball as a scout team running back, or to help those younger running backs get adjusted to having a veteran like himself?
I think either way. I mean, in the spring, he helped all those young running backs. He knows the reads and everything that goes with our offense. So he's going to help them. At the same time, too, there can't be a better scout team running back in the country than Michael Dyer.
If you're going to look at Ryan, where he can get better, maybe down the field, some interception issues at times last year, forcing throws and some back over. People talk so much about his ability and things he's going to do well. Is there anything he can really improve on going into this year? When you sit down and you guys have been at the halftime.
Well, they asked him to do a lot last year. And anytime you can't run the football with a tailback and you're the primary runner, you're going to have to put the ball, take some chances. I think that's what happened last year. Obviously, protect the football is a big factor, and we're going to be asking him to do that. But at the same time, he allows us as coaches coming in with a new offense to worry about everybody else. He already has a great grasp of what we're doing, so that really gives us a good advantage worrying about the other guys around him.
When you look at that slot receiver, you lose a guy in front who has a lot of grabs for you, who's a reliable guy almost in the flat for what could be extended, almost as run plays to get in space. Now you need a guy like that.
Yeah, R.J. Fleming, McKissick, we got a lot of different options. We got some young guys coming in, too, that can do some things in space that we get the ball to.
Is David Oku a guy that could maybe see some slot time?
Yeah, he's very flexible. Very flexible. He's smart. There's no doubt. There's some outstanding dual threat type guys that put a lot of pressure on defense. This is a good league now. I've been fairly familiar with it now that you're in it, and you really look even deeper. Some very good players along with some very good quarterbacks.
Coaches have said here with the way recruiting goes now, over-signing in some schools, that there leaves some options out there for some programs to go grab. Talent-wise, maybe more like this, but you're talking about the way some signing classes work now, the way just the depth and quality of the region that you're in. There's some guys now available that in the past, let's maybe we're not
Yeah, you have to be strategic. You got to look ahead, and those guys are close as far as being eligible. You got to predict, and as every other position head coach is. At the same time, if you're going to build something long term, you're going to have to build it with high school players. And I get that, but at the same time, this first year we had so many needs, we felt like we had to go out and fill a couple of holes.
Talk about your guy. He had such a great year last year. You think that he's the kind of quarterback who can carry you to a great season to Big Mountain Conference wins?
Well, he'll have to play well for us to win consistently. There's no doubt with as much youth and experience. But, just by the judge of what he did in spring practice compared to what he did last year, he's very talented. One of his strengths is making plays when things break down. We're going to need him to play at a high level, and he understands that.
Have you seen improvement with him under Rhett last year, the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach? Maybe some fundamentals and things that.
Well, I think anytime you get a senior, we're going to work fundamentals. Hugh Freeze did a great job with fundamentals too, but towards the end of the spring, he started getting comfortable with what we asked him to do, and it was fun to watch the last week of spring practice.
He's always said that adaptability. He's had so many quarterback coaches. Do you feel like you're almost getting now who has been through it enough that he really don't have to kind of worry so much about whether he's going to pick up a
I think so too. Of course, this is what my 7th year to coach college, and this is my 7th starting quarterback. So it kind of works both ways. We're familiar with taking a guy only for 1 year as a senior. So
in all those 7 years, you had one of the top quarterbacks. Their production was incredible too.
Well, we've inherited a lot of really good quarterbacks that make my job a lot easier.
What's that process like when you only have a guy for a year? I mean, obviously, you want to groom guys down the line. You have Freddie coming in, as a rookie. You have some other guys there. And over those 7 years, what's sort of the template you've taken to having a guy for a year?
Well, you have to build your offense around that quarterback if they're a senior. You got it for 1 year. I mean, you got to have your same philosophy. You can't lose that. But you build around your strengths. You don't ask him to do stuff he can't do just because that's the offense. You've got to put him in situations to be successful. That probably helps my high school background because, you get a guy in high school for a year or two and you got to get another one. So that's probably one of those advantages of being a former high school coach as far as that goes.
Is it nice to maybe have the ground package installed now, the run game installed now? I know you put an emphasis on that on spring. That's a mentality you guys want to have. Shifting it to the passing game, now do you feel like now that Ryan's got some of the base principles, now you'll be able to get into kind of the footwork?
Yeah, and football's about adjusting. Having a quarterback that can adjust in the middle of the game, take what they give you, is a huge advantage.
Get any time to watch film and do it?
Very little, but I know I could. Oh, yeah, Freddie's pounds there. They're middle of the season and all that, but yeah, we know he's very talented.
This league, obviously with you arriving, it's gotten a lot of attention, but Coach Reese last year made a jump to Mississippi. Coach Hudspeth was rumored to be eyed by some programs. Carl Bellini, who's had some success in Nebraska. Cristobal's had some opportunities to go in place. Do you feel like this is a league now where it's not just a stepping stone? You can come in, you can build a program and have some success. And talented coaches now don't just view it as a
You might know that better than me. I'm just, I'm committed to seeing this thing through. I'm excited at Arkansas State. Like Dennis asked earlier, about the boys in the South. That's our goal. That's our vision. That's our dream. I'm committed to it. And, it's a tough league, no doubt.
Well, let me jump off another angle perhaps. A former coach at Auburn and now a former Alabamian at University of South Alabama. Is that your big rival now?
Well, you know what? It may be in the future. I don't know. But I know a lot about it. And, and got a lot of respect. And the program on the rise. No doubt. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.